Hey there, we're going to give people just a minute to join us. And by a minute, I mean like not that much longer. I think I got just about everything ready here. So we'll be starting the stream for reals in just a minute. In the meantime, enjoy the beautiful music of the Space Church, which I think is maybe a little on the loud side. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's more like our usual volume level. Alright, I think we can get rid of the stream starting soon text. Boom! Oh, we've started! Isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing. You may not think it's so amazing, but hey, that's one of the great things about being people. We all get to make up our own minds about stuff. So, I didn't make a little short showing it, but that same ATM booth in that parking lot outside in front of my store is still flickering. It's been going for months now. I have no idea like what is up with that thing, because that is ridiculous. That something would be left doing that, because that's not energy efficient. That's not a good thing. Like, that is demonstrably a bad, an incorrectness, a thing you don't really want to have going on when you're a business owner, because each of those flickers consumes more electricity than if it had just stayed on for some amount of time. If you don't know, like a lot of the power that gets used in starting a car or in flipping or in running your lights or whatever is actually consumed in the split second of the startup. It's considerably a more intense time than when things are just on. So if you have a light somewhere that's flickering on and off, you should probably either just leave it off or replace the bulb so that it stops flickering, because you'll end up saving money either way. But yeah, alien space portals, man. Oh, do I have you know what? Hold on. Maybe I can just pull that up, because I think that'd be kind of funny. Like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen this thing, like, it has been doing this for a long time. Let's see. Playlists. Where's... I absolutely hate the way YouTube works. Alright, there, I got that out of my system. Like, I want to find a specific one of my playlists, so I go to my playlist tab, and you would think, like, the playlist that is a fairly recent one, the one showing my shorts, the one that has just had things added to it, would be like at the top of the list. But it's not. Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah, Samus Aran's Punch-Out, that's kind of funny. Here we go. Alien Portal. Alright, let me make this big. I don't know if I got sound or not. The sound doesn't matter. But, like, I just want to show you this. Like, when does the flickering stop? Look at this thing. This has been going on for months. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying, oh, this has been going on for, like, metaphorical months. This has been going on for literal months. At least 3. Probably more. And it's just doing that in there all the time. Now, granted, this parking lot is actually kind of dangerous. Apparently, last week, right in front of my store, like one store over in front of the hair salon that's there. Hold on, we gotta deal with a one of those Russian bots that drops chat stuff that doesn't make any sense. So let me just remove the chat. and then we will hide user, which is basically like banning somebody. And can we report this person? Unwanted commercial content or spam. I think that's probably good. Thanks, we received your report. Alright, great. But this has been going on for a long time. Let's see. So we looked at that one. Here's... Yeah, this is from November. Alright, and it was doing it before this. This video is from November, and this thing was flickering all the way back then. You can see, it's just been flickering for, let's see, November, so... It was going before November. That was the first time I bothered, like, paying attention to it. Oh, here we are a week later. We got a plane flying by. This is a very silly emoji, and it's still going. Like, I don't get it, man. Whoever's paying the electric bill on this thing, they are paying way more money than they have to. They are probably... Hello? I said to go back. There we go. They're just wasting cash. But this neighborhood is, like, getting kind of rough, man. Last week, there was a fight in front of my store. And I was talking to Sean today. And he was like, oh, that's nothing. Because I'd heard about this through somebody else. And he's like, oh, no, that's nothing. Like, right over there. And he pointed, like, towards the Walgreens parking lot, which is to the right of where I'm filming here. And the Walgreens parking lot is like, yeah, like, two people. There were two separate fights with multiple people that happened 4 hours apart. Because, you know, why not? That's like a normal thing to have happen in the parking lot of your comic book store, where there's a Little Caesars Pizza and a McDonald's and a Walgreens. Like, this is all perfectly normal. That building past the ATM, the left side was occupied by Domino's Pizza. Apparently they got robbed. And then further down the street is a Mocha Coffee. They got robbed. It's getting kind of rough over there. And supposedly, like, one of the hair salon people almost got, like, I don't know if you can say they received unwanted advances late at night as they were going to their car. Like, things are getting a little crazy in this parking lot, and the descent into true madness seems to have, like, really begun with the flickering. So let that be a lesson to you. Flickering ATMs are, in fact, bad. Now you know. Now you know. Alright, let's get into the books. So, I go to Graham Cracker Comics in Madison for most of my comic book needs. Not all of them, but most of them. And when you go to a Graham Cracker Comics, you get 3 free books out of the bin. So, I saw 3 Valiant Chaos Effect books all sitting right next to it. There were more Valiant books, so I just grabbed these. Presumably, if there's still Valiant books there in the same box next week, I'm going to grab 3 more, and so on. I've been slowly, like, filling out my old school Valiant collection, book by, you know, a couple books at a time, like a couple books a month this way. Not that this stuff is like the pinnacle of comic bookness, but it's kind of fun, and it's something you can collect because it's not that expensive for the most part. It's something you can collect because not many other people are doing it. Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go collect Spider-Man, or I'm gonna go collect Batman, and so the prices on those books goes up. These books I'm getting for free, and these are in pretty good shape. Sean, 1994, the year of The Visitor. Sean must have, like, gotten somebody's collection that had a bunch of these books in it, and he's just, like, doling them out or something. I don't know. But I did find this kind of interesting fact. Factamundo, factoid, factorodicus. Chaos Effect Epilogue Part 1, Epilogue Part 2. If your book needs 2 epilogues, you're probably doing your book just a little bit wrong. Let's crack one of these open. Now this is like the second big crossover event for Valiant, I think. The first event, if I remember, was Unity? I think, maybe? But I got like 1 or 2 other of these Chaos Effect books sitting around somewhere. So it's probably, you know, a good excuse to bust them out, check them out, give them a read, see what's in them. Okay, so she's all sneaking up on him, you know? Sneaking up on him. And then she goes to knee him from behind in the groin, and it doesn't quite work. Super strength, baby. Oh no. Oh no. The epilogue, part 1, has a cliffhanger at the end of it. Who does that? Who does that, man? That's wild. That's pretty cool on the left over there. I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. So anyway, I picked these up. They were free. Who can argue with that price point? I certainly can't argue with that price point. I don't know anybody that can. When you get some okay stuff for free, it's free. That's the most important thing. It's like the coffee at work, you know? You're probably not drinking it because it's good coffee. You're probably drinking it because it has one irresistible fact. And that fact is, it's free. Alright, let's see. I guess we'll bust out. I still haven't read the previous issue. I don't think I've read issue 5 yet. I think it's in this stack of books that's just off camera over here. But here it is, Shadow Man, number 6. Dead Side War, part 2. The character with the pink hair, that's, what's her name? Punk Mambo? Like, she's a character they introduced a couple years ago, and I think her book totally, completely flopped. Now, somebody would say, oh, but Valiant only produces books when there's like an interesting story to be told there, and there wasn't for that character anymore, so they stopped. Yeah, right. They stopped because they weren't making money. That's the only reason companies do or don't do things. Well, not the only, it's the primary reason, I should say, that companies do or don't do things is they make money at it. Dude! Colin Bunn, Pedro, Andreo, Jordi Belair, and Clayton Cowles. Look at this. Look at this. This is just what I opened up to. Ain't that pretty cool looking? I think that's pretty cool looking. Oh, I just saw the time on OBS just past 13:37, aka Leet. So great timing. The cool page with a lot of like dead stuff and Shadow Man and all kinds of crazy looking action was Leet. Boom. That should tell you all you need to know. So I'm looking forward to reading this, but I got so much stuff I gotta read, I don't have time. A lot of my reading time this week was actually spent trying to figure out what I wanted to say about some various things that have happened recently in the comic book world. I still gotta sit down seriously and make a bunch of notes about the Action Lab Entertainment stuff. Plus, there's this stuff with, what's this guy's name? I don't know what his real name is. Varian. And then Lola, aka Indie Princess. I don't actually know who these people are that I have written down here. But it sounds like some kind of deal went bad there. And I'm trying to research that a little bit. I gotta go watch, I think Tyler did a stream, Draw and Talk. And I know Vicky, she had a stream with DA where they talked about this stuff. So I gotta like research this for myself because this sounds crazy. Like the little bit of what I heard was absolutely nuts. Like Spencer's Gifts ordered 27,000 books or something like that. That's a colossal number. I mean, okay, granted they have like 600 stores, so maybe that's not so many per store, but that's still a lot of books. And then the books vanished. So I don't know what's up with that or exactly what's going on there. And I may not have the people's names correct. Like these are just a couple lines of notes that I scribbled the other day. So I'm trying to research that. Let's see. And then one of the people involved in that, Luke Stone, I think, he got like very sick, and there was like a charity for him, and then the charity money never appeared or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. Like that seems to involve a lot of the same people. But it's a separate issue from the like missing comics. I did go to the mall and confirm that a Spencer's Gifts, there's at least one in existence. It's in one of the malls here in my city. And yeah, there were no comic books in the store though. It just had the usual assortment of stuff. There was like t-shirts, hats, schlock, worse schlock, tacky schlock, lingerie, and just junk. Like typical Spencer's Gifts, except it seems to have like fallen off over the years, and it's not as cool as it was like 20 years ago. But that kind of goes for everything, man. I was over in that mall, it was the Easttown Mall, and that thing is like a ghost town. There was this the main intersection. You come in from the food court, where there's a Barnes & Noble food court. You come in, and there's this intersection right here. Straight ahead goes to the movie theater. Sears used to be off to the right. Penny's and Dick's Sporting Goods are off to the left. And those used to be a Gordon's in there. But at that intersection, there used to be three. I'm pretty sure there used to be three jewelry stores. I'm pretty sure there were the two that were still there. And I think the third one, the only one out of business, was Zales Diamonds. Like, that mall is toast. There ain't nothing in it. There's some weird stuff in it. Like, there's a boxing gym in there. A barber shop, a tattoo parlor. Like, there's some weird stuff. But, like, your typical mall attractions, a lot of clothing stores I remember seeing in there are just gone. But Spencer's Gifts is still in there. So there you go. So I didn't see any comic books at Spencer's Gifts. They weren't up by the register, and they weren't around the periphery of the store. And if they were hiding somewhere else, you know, like behind baseball caps or something, like they were just like literally hidden, never finding them. Okay, next book. So those are all things I'm looking at, and I want to make some videos here this week. But I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to get the chance to. Hey, March Hare, you should just go rewind and watch like the last 5 minutes of the thing. Since I put down Shadow Man, because we were talking about some like stuff that I'm looking at. Basically a lot of drama. You joined like right at the point where I was going to the next book, as opposed to talking about stuff I'm looking at. And the next book, I think it's the last issue of the miniseries, Deep Beyond. Hence the title of the stream. We have to go deeper beyond. Yeah, I don't think it was way more clever in my head than the stream title was when I actually, typed it in. But it is what it is, and we're here with what we got, and that's just the life we're living. Now, of course, Deep Beyond has had some ups and downs. It's gone kind of off the rails. It's introduced a lot of clever things, but it's also treading a lot of the same... It's all good. It's also trading a lot of the same like plot points or plot beats, I guess I should say, as a lot of other stuff that Merca has done. It's definitely following the pattern set out with Unnatural, which itself kind of followed the pattern that Mercy had. It's definitely structured in the same ways as those stories, which I find a little off-putting, even though I'm kind of enjoying it for the most part. Kind of for the most part. Yeah, that's English. Dollar Bills Treasure Trove. Dude! Hey, since you're here. There's a whole bunch of Valiant stuff sitting in one of the 75-cent bin boxes that's all in good shape, so I'm going to plunder it over the next couple of weeks. That's my plan. I'm going to plunder it and get a bunch of old school Valiant stuff and kind of maybe start closing that collection up so I can actually put together like a shopping list, and then I'll just have all of it. That's the hope. That's the dream. Give me a second. I'm going to take a drink of my water here. And I'm going to mute my microphone while I do it. Make sure I pick up Harbinger. Talk of a movie or TV series. Hey, I got a bunch of Harbinger already. That is not one of the more difficult to find titles in the Valiant catalog, so to speak. All right, let's crack Deep Beyond open here. Oh, actually, hold on. Before I do that, I already showed this, but I'm gonna crack this open and show it again because Where is it? This is the spread I opened up to, and I didn't look at anything else in the book of Shadow Man number 6. I thought this was pretty dang dope. You can just kind of feel like the energy and like the stuff just kind of like oozing off the page, man. It's like all kinds of nightmarish things up here in the corner. You got Shadow Man doing Shadow Man-y stuff. I mean, you got this cool strike. You got this super dynamic scythe pose that looks like it comes right out of a manga. Shadow Man has been a really very cool book since they did the reboot. So far, the 6 issues of this have been so much better than the previous Shadow Man miniseries. There's like no comparison. That previous miniseries had like, I don't know, 4 issues that were really good, a couple that were bad, and then the rest were mediocre. This has been just kind of consistently good. Maybe even like brushing close to great, because it's been fun. It showed off crazy stuff. It's done it in a crazy way with art that supports the craziness, and it's working. It's absolutely working. All right, let's crack open Deep Beyond. I forget who the artist is on this book, so we're going to look at that first. David Goy, so that must be the penciler. Andrea Ricardo's probably the colorist. And then Barbara Nocinzo must be the letterer. Okay, we got some action here. That's always a good sign when you crack open a book and the first page shows like something happening. Like if you can't get a really cool splash screen or splash page, like Spider-Man swinging above the city or something, like a bunch of dudes with guns, pretty cool. Especially when you end here with an ominous glow. You didn't even really need to swear, dude. You didn't need to swear. You need the right artists and the right writers and artists, whatever the English is. Man, you got these people just abusing alien technology to teleport stuff around. What a bunch of jerks. That is a great panel. And in fact, probably what they should have done here, instead of this, is they should have maybe, I don't know. I'm suddenly doubting myself. But what if this had been what we opened up to? Instead of this, which I like because it's showing us some dynamic stuff, and then there's a setup for crazy things. What if we had just skipped to the crazy thing right away? Put this in as the first page. I think that might have been a more dramatic statement. There's no lead up. You just show something you show people something impressive right out of the gate and just kind of roll with it. These people have all kinds of betrayals. She's supposed to be dead. Not. I don't even know what's going on at this point of the book. I guess I'll just have to read it and find out, because Lord help me, things are so convoluted in the plot of Deep Beyond that I've kind of forgotten half of what was going on, because we took this weird like sojourn into the alien world, which then brought us back to, the Earth world where the politics were, and now I don't really understand the politics, except the politics are apparently coming back to bite us because we have the alien revolutionaries here on Earth now. Like, I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. It's a little convoluted, and it's formulaic at the same time. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. Alright, I got one more book to show off, and I think this is a surprise. Like, it shouldn't have come out yet. I think this is next week, isn't it? I think this is next week's book. Isn't Robin number 11 next week? Well, you know what? I got it. Right here. Right now. Which means I'm going to review this before next week and hopefully get all the clicks and all the views. Because nobody put an embargo date on me. Nobody said, Dr. Eliza Barr, PhD, don't review comic books ahead of their release date. Nobody said that. DC didn't send me a letter giving me a complimentary copy. I'm not bound by anything. I can do what I want. Until like YouTube deletes me or something. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Where did we even leave off? Did I read the last issue? Holy moly, I don't know if I've even read the last issue. We might be in the epilogue of whatever's going on, because I think I left off with Damien in the past or something. And now we're definitely in the present, and the disaster, whatever was going on, seems to be over. This looks like the decompression epilogue issue out of what was going on. Oh. Is that... Oh, they did it! They did it! That's probably a big spoiler. Oh, I'm gonna cough. Hold on. I got too worked up there. I absolutely got too worked up. Let's look up the release date of Robin issue 11 release date. Okay, here we go. This is from Atomic Empire, who I presume is trustworthy on their release dates. Oh, who's that? Oh shoot, what is her name? Flatline. She was introduced at the start of the series. She was trained by Lord Deathman, and she, when she kills somebody, she steals their abilities. Is like the way her powers work. So she kills somebody, and she suddenly knows, like, how to do their stuff, if I remember right. Let's see, here we go. Robin, number 11. This cover. Hold on. This cover right here is right here. See? It's next week. I got it early. I got it early. I got it early. You know, I never watched Heroes. I still remember, like, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World. I still remember that bit. But I never actually watched the show. A lot of TV from that era is, very formulaic. Actually, a lot of TV is just very formulaic. When somebody says the first season was fantastic, you just make me think of Lost, where everybody was so hype, and then the show got to the end, and everybody hated it. Or Breaking Bad, for that matter, which had like 4 really solid seasons. And then a last season that was just kind of like, whatever. Oh my gosh, dude, my excitement about getting this Robin, number 11, a week early, has, like, destroyed me. I keep, like, wanting to cough over here. I don't know what the heck is going on. But it is suboptimal, whatever it is. Shoot, I wanted to do some more... I wanted to talk a little longer tonight, and then I wanted to go do some recording. I don't think I can pull that off tonight. I think I need to go get some hot tea or something and relax my throat. But yeah, that was the 6 books I got, man. This was a surprise because I wasn't expecting it this week. And, you know, now I got to go read a lot of stuff. Oh, the very end of Breaking Bad was pretty good. And then the movie they made, El Camino, that was really good. But Breaking Bad suffers from what I call TV show writing, where characters don't behave in the way that they behaved previously. They behave in the way that will generate the maximum amount of conflict between characters who were friends like 5 minutes ago. It's like wrestling, where you're in the ring. Oh, perfect example. So Bryan Danielson, wrestler, he shows up in AEW back in October or something, and there's a big crowd pop. The announcer's like, oh, this guy's so great, he's going to defeat our hated champion or whatever. Last couple of weeks, Bryan Danielson's getting booed by people because now he's a villain. in the span of like 3 months or whatever. And a lot, Breaking Bad suffered from that kind of stuff. That works in soap operas. It doesn't work for a sustainable long-form drama where you establish who the characters are. In soap operas, people flip on like the turn flip on. Wow. They flip on short notice. There we go. That's close enough to the English phrase I'm looking for. And, you know, in soap operas you can get away with that. Like, I remember watching Young and the Restless. There was like, out of nowhere, Sharon just suddenly became a kleptomaniac for no reason. For literally no reason. Or, what else? Like, what else is ridiculous? Jack Newman broke his back, and then one day he suddenly could just walk again. Like, just ridiculous things like that. That's expected in a soap opera because you're going for cheap thrills. In a longer form, or a more dramatic... I'm losing the right words. In a television show where you have characters that you've established, and they've behaved in a certain way for 3 seasons, you know, 60 episodes of the TV show or whatever, and you suddenly have them flip to be different, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Real people don't suddenly become completely different for no reason. There has to be like some initiating event. So Walter White, at the end of every season, deciding he wants to kill everybody he's ever worked with or whatever, is a little ridiculous. But man, the very end of Breaking Bad, that last episode where he takes out all those dudes and arranges his own death so he doesn't have to go to jail or die from cancer, that was pretty good. Like, that is what I expected from that character, and we didn't get in that last season. Sorry for the sniffle. See, let me read your chat, man. Let me read your chat, because I've been yakking and not responding to you, my loyal viewer. Hello and welcome, by the way, just in case you didn't know. You picked up a bunch of 80s goodies out of the dollar bin. RoboCop, Heathcliff, Alf. Hey, I got like an Alf annual. It's a funny, funny book. Marvel Comics presents Real Ghostbusters. Hey, it sounds like you did get a bunch of treasure. Your mom watching Young and the Restless. That's how I watched it when I was a kid, man. And if Young and the Restless was still watchable, I'd probably watch it every once in a while. I like that, and Days of Our Lives. That was the other one my mom watched. When I was younger, man, there was some crazy stuff. Like when I was in undergrad, I can't find the episode. I can't find a clip of it. But there was a point where the villain in Days of Our Lives, Stefano DiMera, had his mad scientist buddy, Rolf, and they were going to go steal somebody's corpse out of the morgue or whatever, and he's like, Rolf, we have a body to steal. And that's just kind of stuck with me for 20-something years now, because it's completely ridiculous, completely over the top, and actually pretty in character for him. But prior to that, back in the early 90s, when I was like 12 or whatever, they had this whole thing about like the Kingdom of the Night, the Parisian underworld, where Stefano DiMera ran his criminal empire from the catacombs under Paris and stuff. Marlena, the love interest of multiple characters, she got like possessed by Satan, and so they were in Paris, of course, because they were all in Paris. She got like possessed by the devil, and so they were doing an exorcism on the top of this, like the penthouse apartment of this building or hotel or whatever, and then she like threw Stefano like 50 stories to his death. Of course he didn't die because it's a soap opera, but like just absolutely completely ridiculous stuff. And all those weird turns actually fit because the whole thing, the very premise of the whole show is kind of preposterous to begin with, because it's a soap opera and nothing is true for more than like 3 episodes. Like, that's the basic fundamental premise of the show. Whereas you have something like Breaking Bad, Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, whatever, you have characters, they're established early on, And then they evolve slowly, or at least they're supposed to. Like, you watch Babylon 5 and the story arcs people go through there. The Lanier at the end of the show is a completely different person from the Lanier at the beginning of the show. But you've been with him the whole journey. You understand how he got that way. Walter White, Heisenberg, he flip-flops back and forth between almost being altruistic and being a complete psychopath that wants to kill his best friends. Not even like he wants to kill his brother-in-law because he's a DAA agent or anything. Just like, you know, we've been doing a lot of great work here. I'm now going to murder you. Like, that's Walter White. Even though, you know, you were making coffee with him like 5 seconds before. The dude's completely insane. And the flip-flop is very uncharacteristic because he doesn't exhibit any other symptoms of being that kind of crazy person. Except for when he suddenly flips. On the other hand, Jesse's plot arc, which they wrapped up in El Camino, which was excellent, as I said earlier, and as you say, his story arc, he actually goes on a rock-solid journey through the whole show. The show's not actually about Walter White. The show is actually about Jesse Pinkman. Walter White is the plot device that catalyzes Jesse Pinkman's journey. So the whole show looks like it's supposed to be about him, but it's not. In much the same way that I mentioned Babylon 5, like that show looks like it should be about Bruce Boxleitner's character from the second season on. Because he's the main character, he's the captain, he's the big star. But it's not about him. The show is actually about Londo Mollari. He is the primary person in that show. The show is all about how he goes on his journey, where he is actually a really good guy, and he has to do all these unsavory things because they're the best choices he has available. So all the other people reacting to Londo, and while they're like the stars of their own stories, he's the core of the show. Other people are plot devices around him that drive him to doing the things, which then drive other people into doing stuff. He has like a rock-solid characterization, a rock-solid story arc. He goes from point A to B, but he is the most core character to the story. Without Londo, none of that stuff would have happened the way it happened. And if you took out other characters, you know, you yank out the captain, you can still get a very similar story, because they did yank out the captain. If you took out Ivanova, you get the same kind of story. You took out one of the psychics, you get the same kind of story. They're less critical. So while Mr. Morden and the Shadows and the Vorlons are the things that push Londo back and forth in the story, it's Londo that's actually the star. That's my thesis anyway. You should feel free to disagree with me on that one. But that is a hill I am willing to die on. Because it's the truth, as far as I can tell. Alright, it's almost 10 o'clock, and I am still wrestling with this, having to mute my microphone to clear my throat and stuff, so I think I'm going to call it here, my dude. Thank you for dropping in, March Hare, and thank you for the couple people that have been out there lurking. Much appreciated. You know I love it. You know I love you, platonically, as friends, colleagues, fellow nerds. You all take care of yourselves. I'm going to go get like a nice warm tea or something to drink and try to fix my throat, because I can't stand this. It's really annoying. Every time I say something, it feels like my throat wants to close up. Have a good one. Hope you feel better. Thank you. I hope you have a great one, March Hare. And everybody else out there, I hope you also have great ones. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to mute my microphone. I'm going to give the thumbs up, and then we're going to call it a stream.